strictly lower? Strictly lower.
Strictly lower, yes. And then for each formula which is in the intersection of these two, you can first remove FL and then expand with FI. So the idea is that this algorithm can define the update with respect by using just contraction and expansion that were already defined, so that's a good thing. And then you can use this tool to calculate the costs of the update.
Okay, go back. So this psi even does not appear in the loop body.
No, this psi is in the intersection of phi k and phi j.
Yeah, but so how do you use this psi? In the loop body, you didn't.
Yes. So that's what I say. So this should be phi psi.
Oh, okay. And
but
by the way, you should.
It's not really. Don't shoot at me. That's why I even put this after the conclusion, because.
Yeah, I mean, you should remove this brackets around phi k, exact phi j, because this is the wrong notation.
Yeah, that should be just before. I mean, it doesn't matter. I was just writing up, and the rest is references. So, okay, so work in progress, but hopefully sensible to some degree.
Thank you. We can still have questions,
yeah?
Yeah. Hi, I wanted to understand, so you say that there is I like actually that Natasha and Brian, and I don't know who is.
Yeah, this is the.
They are working on this thing, and they said they have minimal.
Yeah, they have this minimal. It's called minimal preference change.
So I wonder what is minimal preference. So I like it because it sounds like you want to satisfy new preferences, but with a minimal change.
Yes, that's.
And this is usually goes well with so-called constraint optimization, when you have you want to maximize, let's say, satisfaction of some preferences, but subject to some constraint, how many changes you can make of a set, for example. I don't know whether that's related or not. So when you're saying then you want to have actually maximal preference change.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also the other.
It may sound like you just want to run constraint. So their minimization. I'm not familiar with the work and I don't know what they're doing. But when I hear minimal change, I like this enthusiasm because it fits.
Yeah, that's that's the
yeah.
standard notion, and it's also because the contraction operation is a minimal change operator. So basically, what they are doing is, instead of contracting with respect to a formula phi I, they contract with respect to a preference relation. So there is phi I less than phi j, and then they compare this. So then, typically, one uses a notion of distance between the two sets of formula, the one that is generated by this new order relation and the original one, and one picks up the sets that is induced by the contraction, inducing the minimal number of changes, right?
And minimize it by distance.
Yeah, it's Dalal distance is the usual that is used in this case, where you look at just the
distance is kind of like it gives you a positive number.
Yeah. And
so you can have like a topology of this.
I guess, yeah. But again, here is the idea is very tentative yet, but because you have this sort of definition where you actually induce the maximal change, I wonder whether this does not reflect some dual operation to the kind of minimal change they are looking at. So again, I mentioned this is still very tentative. I'm not sure that's. If you are asking whether this is useful, I don't know. I think so.
Actually, this relates to a question. Go ahead. Well, since it's related, okay. Yeah. So, is there any actual framework that you thought about using for implementing this stuff? Maybe even like a ToCAI framework where you have the ability to write quickly specifications and simple programs and play with this
No, I haven't.
to validate these concepts, because there's a lot of stuff here, and I think it needs validation, but it's very easy to get them slightly wrong.
No, I haven't.
Category theory.
Yeah, sure. Makes things easier.
Everything goes.
I don't know. Suggestions?
He's thinking about theorem proving.
So, well, yeah, maybe something connected.
What do you mean by validation? You have a like practical system, you write down the specification, you write down the
Right, but you have nice mechanisms to abstract away the implementation as well. So if you go back to that scheme there, all those things.
The low
Yeah.
bottom arrow.
And I'm sure there are frameworks out there, so something to connect with theorem provers maybe, but
I guess the main issue is probably going from a set of propositions in the specification to a syntactic entity like a program. I mean, that's obviously elided in this representation, but that's going to be a huge issue in practice.
Yeah, possibly with complex specifications, certainly, yes.
So you think that there is actually an operator that implements this minimal change?
Yeah. It's just contraction, it's just what you saw, contraction, but then not with respect to formula, but with respect to an altering, a new preference.
So, and then there is a kind of and minimality can be measured by distance between cells.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I mean, again, it's sort of more complicated, in the direction of more complication, but I think what Roman said at some point, maybe there are some connections to topology because of the distance and the contraction and this sort of, these kind of things, there's some topological things. I think that's some truth to what he said, some metrics could be defined.
Yeah.
But again, it's making things more complicated.
Yeah, I think, well, there is definitely still some work to be done for the framework to be clean and
yeah.
So my question was very high level, because why did you call this one property accountability? It's just like it's a very far shot, because I mean it's just because in different projects accountability is a very hot topic in security. But a very different plan. But at the same time, what struck me is that you call it accountability and you're talking about the negative.
Yeah.
So that would be, I mean, very high level would be great if you could really exclude all kinds of things. But I don't know how far this, not implies something else. Like in terms of anyhow. So why did you call it accountability? Is there like an intuition?
Yeah, I think it reflects the. First of all, I think I found it somewhere. That's the reason. I don't remember another paper where I found it. I can't give you the title out of my mind, but there is some places where this is. That's the reason I gave it the name of accountability, and I think it reflects the idea that it's one is uses to say reflects accountability of the things that you can do.
Is the dual.
But this is the dual. Maybe I should change it for dual accountability. Is the things that you will not be able to do. But I think it makes sense in the context of resilience, because in the context of resilience you are looking at how much resistant the system is, but also necessarily by way of this definition, the things that you are going to lose. That's the idea. You're trying to account for the property that the system is going to lose once some contraction is performed, and that's sort of the idea. But there is some references that.
It's sometimes silly to ask this terminology question.
No, but I think it's important.
Because you go in the community and they're just going to hack you because you're using a word they
use it for something else.
But usually it's also very helpful because you often discover that they use it for the same thing, but in a different context. Different technology is not random.
And there's another terminology, well, not terminology, it's more like methodology, because I've been recently looking for it, and everyone's looking at refactoring, and it's just the complete opposite somehow, seems to me. Refactoring is basically trying to keep the property as they are while you're changing the software. And this is something which is actually coming from practice. So it's like, Eclipse has refactoring implemented. And because you asked this question about validation. Anyhow, so it's a completely different side of the planet, but I mean, towards evolution, refactoring.
But refactoring, in fact, is, you can look at minimal change as a principle on the basis of refactoring, right? So in that sense, yeah, completely different context, but the idea is still the same. Change something, but you want to keep the rest
exactly, because you
as untouched as possible.
You want some kind of behavior to be observable.
So as far as safe construction is concerned, that principle is entirely satisfied. Safe construction works as a minimal change operator.
Okay.
It changed the least needed in view of disordering. The next step, which is what I called adaptive update, is sort of trying to shuffle the cards in a way that you are forced to. There's nothing you can do except taking this new property, which gets the highest priority, and you have to put it on top. So in that sense, you have to change your ordering, and on that basis, which I call a maximal change, then the rest can be done preserving the principle of minimal change as possible. So, I don't know, I think that I have to still think of a well thought example that will give concrete justification to this case, but I think there are cases where you really need to change your priority in view of something that you didn't know before. Simply like the environment is forcing on you this new property, and that has highest priority. Which is something that addressing priority change by minimal change operator doesn't directly do, because that will only give you the minimal change with respect to the direct preference that you have, but that doesn't allow you to put your new preference on top of everything. So that's sort of difference. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.